Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Terry Stiles. A tipster finds a stolen bike and a man shoots himself in the hand. And the Oxford Township Parks and Recs director has a good reason to smile.
Stay tuned, learn more about these stories and others. The Oxford News begins right now. A $2,300 bicycle stolen last February from Jenny Lynn Williams at Parkville Apartments has been returned thanks to a Good Samaritan. Williams borrowed the bike from her brother, and after it was stolen, she posted flyers all over town, and with the right luck, the bike was spotted by a cycler at the very complex it was stolen at. In addition to recovering the stolen bike, Williams felt especially lucky that day because she also landed a job.
Addison Township residents are being asked by the Addison Township Public Library Board to provide input regarding a possible relocation of their facility. While plans call for 5 years from now, the board would like to know if the library should build a new building on the nearly 4 acres of donated land located on Millmine and Cantley in Lakeville, or should a lease continue at the existing location. The library board assures residents that they will not ask for library tax increases because they plan to match grant funding through fundraising events. To have input of what course you would like the library to take, their meetings take place at 6:30 p.m. on the third Tuesday of every month at the library, which is at 1400 Rochester Road. Your voice matters.
The annual Seymour Lake celebration, organized by the Oxford Township Parks and Recreation Department, received a huge financial kick from the North Lapeer Road Meijer store. Meijer wrote a check for $5,000 and presented it to Parks and Recreation Director Ron Davis. Although Davis pointed out, Meijer has always been a substantial supporter of the celebration fundraiser. This check took him by total surprise. In its 8th year running, the festival provides fireworks, live music, and carnival fun for 3 days straight. This year's event happens on July 8th, 9th, and 10th at where else? Seymour Lake Township Park. Don't miss it.
An accidental shooting resulted in a 34-year-old Oxford man being injured and sent to the hospital. The Olive Road resident and legal gun owner said he was trying to load his .380 caliber semi-automatic pistol when it locked up on him. While trying to unload the gun, it fired and the bullet went straight through his hand, landing in the next room. Fortunately, no one else was injured.
A group of local veterans from Oxford American Legion Post 108 visited Daniel Axford Elementary School to read stories to the kindergarten through 2nd grade students as part of March is Reading Month. The theme for the Reading Month was superheroes, and the veterans fit the bill. Along with reading stories, the vets gave the kids a few good tips. Pick up your toys, don't play with matches, and never destroy books. Watch this week's Our Community Access to see the heroes in action.
Another request for an LED sign was brought to the Oxford Village Planning Commission, who is standing the line on the village sign ordinance after the Holy Cross Lutheran Church pastor asked for 4 waivers under the village special use process. Planner Chris Corey described the waivers.
The first would be a waiver to construct a freestanding sign of 31.3 square feet in an area zoning district where the maximum size is 16 square feet. So that's a 15.3 square foot increase. The second waiver would be to construct a 6.5 foot tall freestanding sign. The maximum in the district is 6 feet, so that's a 6-inch increase. The third one is a waiver to have 37.3 total square feet of signage on the lot, which is 7.3 square feet larger than the 30 square foot maximum. And the fourth waiver is to have electronic messaging.
Pastor Matt Schuler presented a good argument to approve the sign.
Part of the reason we want a sign is for increased visibility for our church, absolutely. Hilariously, when I first came to Oxford, I had never been to Holy Cross before. I drove by the church. the first time. It's easy to do. I later learned that when you see choo-choo chocolates, turn on your turn signal and get ready to turn. I think that would be avoided if we had a church sign that was perpendicular to the road that you could see clearly and easily. And the other part of that is we'd like to use this sign not only for ourselves, to promote obviously things that are going on at the church, VBS, different events. We also use the sign to promote activities that we host for the community.
Commission Chair John Duval feels LED signs are divisive to downtown.
And I think you all realize that you're coming here with full knowledge that there is a segment of the community that really doesn't find that within maybe the consistent view of how they view their downtown. Okay, that is your choice, all right, and many will come after you, all right. The precedence has been set. The sign ordinance, the purpose behind it was to try to get our arms around just exactly how much of an impact this is going to have on our community and how much control does this board and the community have with respect to the impact of LED lighting. And I don't think that anyone that's been involved in the community, certainly like you folks have, will understand that once you set a precedence and once you start competing for the eye of the M24 traffic goer, there is no end to that.
After a suggestion to table the issue, Duval further explained the special use review process.
In respect to the village council and respect to the tasks they have before them, I don't believe it should be complicated with any other pending elements other than for them to focus on that sign ordinance. I would suggest we table it, and when the village council has done their due diligence, and at that point in time, I would assume when they take action, they will lift the moratorium. However it falls, whatever their decision is, that's what we will be charged with to make our decision.
Well, it's happening again. More often these days, another case of stolen identity was reported in Oxford by a woman who said someone else already filed taxes in her name with her Social Security number. If you find this has happened to you, be sure and contact the IRS representative, and also don't forget to cancel your credit cards.
After an after-school party hosted by parents resulted in underage drinking, the party was reported to the police, who took statements from the kids who attended. A report has been filed and still under investigation.
You know, it is the season, Terry.
I'm telling you.
Kids, you know, they get out and they, with friends, peer pressure,
Yeah.
they have drinks and, you know, pretty dangerous stuff. You know, you hear about kids getting in accidents all the time.
Well,
you know.
and they think that they know what they're doing, and they overindulge. I mean, just drinking in the first place is ridiculous, but they have no idea what their limitation is, and kids die from that. And to have parents, I'm not saying they stood there and poured the liquor into the glass or whatever it was the kids were drinking, beer or whatever, but to be in the same facility and know the kids are drinking, oh my goodness. You would think that people would want to discourage that.
Well, parents out there, you need to keep an eye on what's going on. I mean, if the kids are having a party, that kind of thing,
Stop
make
it.
sure that there's nothing like alcoholic beverages. I mean, just think if something disastrous happened, you know, with any of these kids, you know, that were in your home. Not a good thing.
Right.
Another thing I want to
Happened
mention
before.
is that there was a youngster that was riding in a kayak this weekend that the kayak overturned. And the child almost drowned.
Wow.
I want to warn people out there that if you take your youngsters, you know, out in a kayak, make sure they have a, you know,
Life jacket.
on.
Sure.
And in this case, there was a observant lady on the beach that saw the thing
Wow.
happen and lent her, you know, expertise in order to help save this child.
Wow, that's
But
amazing.
You gotta
already.
be careful of that stuff.
And it's only March.
Yes, it's
Almost
only March.
April. When you see this, it'll be April, but you just can't be too careful when it comes to kids, of course, and here I am pointing my bossy finger. But, you know, we need to take care of each other. The drinking thing, graduation's coming up. Every year you hear of some kind of tragedy. Every year you hear of some kind of water tragedy. It's a little too early to be out there yet. That water's really cold, but Now I'm done bossing everybody around. That's it for Oxford News this week. I just want you to take care of yourself. To learn more about these stories and others, stop by your local store and pick up a copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper, or better yet, catch us right here at Charter Channel 191 or AT&T Channel 99.
And coming up next on OCTV, Oxford Sports with Jamie Hughes, and catch Oxford School News with John Ochens. And don't miss Auto Talk and Science in the News with Dave Kenny.
I'm Terry Stiles. This is Oxford News This Week, where we bring your news closer to home.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Remember, always be kind to your friends and neighbors, and thanks for watching.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. In our first story, a woman's life on average is longer than that of a man. But what kind of a life is it? 3 decades of U.S. health data have revealed that women often spend many of their extra years in poor health and disability. Life expectancy for women in the U.S. is 81, 5 years more than that of men. It has, however, been climbing for both genders. In 1995, women and men were expected to live to 79 and 73, respectively. But the figures show a worrying trend. The health in which women spend their lengthening old age seems to have stopped improving since 2000. Women would now account for 57% of U.S. citizens aged over 65, but 68% of those need daily assistance in their lives. In the 1980s and 1990s, improvement in medical care delayed the diseases of old age even more than they delayed death, effectively compressing the time old people spend in ill health. But Vicki Friedman and her colleagues at the University of Michigan Ann Arbor found that the average health of older men continued to improve after 2000, whereas that of older women did not. Examining 30 years of health surveys, the team found that 85-year-old men can now expect to have an average of 4 more years of active, relatively healthy life, up from an average of just 2.5 in 1982. But in women, there has been no change. Just as in 1982, 85-year-old women today can only expect to have another 2.5 years of active life. This means that although they are likely to continue living longer than men of the same age, they spend less of that time in good health. Older women can no longer expect to live more active years than older men, despite their longer lives, says Friedman. This trend may partly stem from the changes in lifestyle and medicine. Improved management of blood pressure and other risk factors means that heart attacks and other cardiovascular disorders are not the killers of men they once were. Meanwhile, women's tendency to smoke started catching up with that of men in the 1960s, and those women are now in their later life. Women are also more prone to aging associated conditions such as arthritis, depression, and brittle bones and dementia. Similar trends seem to be occurring in Europe and Japan. Friedman team is calling for more of a focus on adding quality, not just quantity, to our final years, especially with the number of aged baby boomers and the bills for looking after them set to soar. And over in Wisconsin, it's an expensive invasion. The spiny water flea has cut visibility in Lake Mendota in Wisconsin by 1 meter since it was first spotted there in 2009. It did so by feasting on native plankton, which keep water clearer by eating algae. The economic cost of murkier water there, where residents enjoy boating, fishing, and swimming, has now been estimated at $140 million, though not everyone is convinced by such a high figure. Previous attempts to put a price tag on invasive species impacts haven't come close to the true cost, says study author Jack Welch of the University of Wisconsin in Madison, who thinks the price tag justifies spending more money on eradicating the flea. The flea came to the Great Lakes to the lake from the Great Lakes after having arrived there in the 1980s in the ballast water of ships probably from the Soviet Union. In a previous questionnaire, residents of the luxury homes along the lake shore said they would be willing to pay $640 per household for an extra meter of clarity in their lake. Walsh and his colleagues used this as a proxy for the economic cost of the invasion. The team says the water could be made clearer by stripping phosphorus from farm fertilizer runoff into the lake. This could work because phosphorus boosts the growth of algae, which are making the water murky in the absence of large number of plankton there to eat them. There is no known method of getting rid of billions of fleas short of poisoning the entire water body, says the team. And it may not be necessary. Nature could be about ready to rectify the problem thanks to the arrival of another alien species that hitched a ride from the Soviet Union in the 1980s. Last year, the same university biology class that spotted the spiny water flea in the lake came up with zebra mussels. Although the mussels can block water intakes and other infrastructure, they famously clean the murky waters of the heavily polluted Lake Erie after arriving there. They likely will improve water clarity dramatically in Lake Mendota, says Mark Davis of Macalester College in Minnesota. But he is skeptical of the estimated cost. I find it difficult to believe that Wisconsin citizens would be willing to pay $140 million to get that 1 meter of clarity back, says Davis. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back. Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, Toyota says they plan to make automatic emergency braking a standard feature on many Toyota and Lexus vehicles by the end of 2017. The move would give it a 4-year head start on a recent pact between nearly all major automakers to do the same by 2022. The suite of safety systems is already available as an option on Toyota models such as the Toyota Safety Sense package and on Lexus models as the Lexus Safety System Plus. The system includes pre-collision braking, lane departure alert, and automatic high beams on lower-end models such as the Yaris, Corolla IM, and Prius C. Other Toyota models in the Lexus lineup will add to that pedestrian and vehicle detection, radar cruise control, and a steering wheel assist on the lane departure system. By the end of the 2017 model year, 25 of 30 Toyota and Lexus vehicles will be equipped with these features as standard gear. And that won't come with the packages included on the Toyota Mirai and the Scion IA, which already offer pre-collision braking as standard, and the 4Runner and 86 Coupe and the Lexus GX SUV. The announcement comes on the heels of an industry-wide agreement 2 weeks ago between 20 major automakers to add automatic braking and pre-collision to all light vehicles by 2022. Doing so would have an immediate impact on vehicle safety in the U.S. A recent Insurance Institute for Highway Safety study shows that the automatic emergency braking system can cut rear-end crashes by as much as 40%. The group represents about 99% of U.S. light vehicle sales, according to NHTSA. Good thing. And what color is your car? It seems the colors people most prefer on their vehicles are not really colors at all. White has been hot lately, and since 2011 it has been the most popular color in North America, according to PPG Industries' North American Color Popularity Chart. In 2015, white beat black by 23 to 19%, followed by gray at 17% and silver at 15%. In other words, neutral colors occupied the first 4 spots in PPG's chart. From about 2000 to 2010, silver was the most popular color, says Jane Harrington, manager of the color styling for PPG's automotive OEM Coatings in Troy, Michigan. And white's popularity in North America pales in comparison to other parts of the world. In the Asia-Pacific region, white accounted for 44% of vehicles built, dwarfing second place black by 16%. At 16%, that is. In South America, white beat silver 36 to 31%, and in Europe, white outshone black 31 to 18%. Harrington says her colleagues in China told her white is really hot there. White is a fashionable, trendy color. She says it makes a smaller car look larger and it stays clean longer. But once you start to break color preferences by segment, it's not a black and white thing. Take sports cars, for instance. North American buyers preferred solid black, 20%, with red finishing second at 18% and white at third. Obviously, sports car buyers are not dissuaded by the adage that red cars get the most speeding tickets. Wow. And on the technology front, General Motors will offer its new 10-speed automatic transmission in 8 models by 2018, says Global Product Chief Mark Rice. The first to get the transmission will be the 2017 Camaro ZL1, a lightweight version of the sports coupe launching this fall that is designed for racing and street use. Royce, speaking at a media event, would not identify the other models slated to get the 10-speed. But the rear-wheel drive gearbox is designed for high-horsepower vehicles, so it's likely it will be used on the Cadillac Escalade, Chevrolet Suburban / GMC Tahoe, and some versions of the Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra pickups. The new transmission, along with a new 9-speed automatic for front-wheel drive vehicles, was developed in a joint venture with Ford. The first Ford vehicle to get the 10-speed transmission will be the next-generation Ford Raptor off-road performance truck due out this fall. GM invested $343 million in tooling for its Romulus, Michigan transmission plant where the 10-speed automatic will be made. GM spokesman Tim Reed said GM will continue to offer its current 8-speed automatic, which is available in Cadillacs and Corvettes. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and as always, may the wind be at your back as you cruise down life's highways. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.
Oxford Orient Fish helps provide emergency aid to the people of Oxford, Ligorian, Addison, and Oakland Townships. One of the only self-serve food banks in the state, Oxford Orient Fish provides once-a-month food supplies based on the size of the family. To donate, volunteer, or to find out more, call Oxford Orient Fish at 248-628-3933 or go to their website, oxfordorientfish.org. Oxford Orient Fish, neighbors helping neighbors.
Welcome to your weekly calendar of events, where we feature your weekly calendar of local Oxford and Addison community events, including charity, special fundraisers, and general community information. Now, if your organization would like help to get your message out to the public, contact us for detailed information at our studio phone number at 248-628-9658, or you can go to our website at occtv.org. If you're in need of alterations or repairs on your clothing, please remember the Sisters of Mount Tabor in Ortonville. The Sisters can take care of your sewing needs at a very fair price. For information, call 248-627-4355. The Good Sisters spend a large portion of their day in prayer, so if no one answers, please leave a message. The Oxford Lions Club is sponsoring 2 $500 scholarships for graduating 2016 high school seniors who live within the Oxford School District and attend either public or private school. To be eligible, students must have a 2.0 or better grade point average and plan to attend a 2 or 4-year college or an established trade school after graduation. Applicants must also have community service hours. Applications are available at the Oxford High School Counseling Office and at the Oxford Public Library. Expiration is closing because applications must be returned no later than March 30th. We invite children ages 12 and under to enter Oxford Parks and Recreation My Snowman and Me contest. Now look, I know there's no longer any snow in Oxford and everyone is thinking spring. But if you have those pictures from the big storm a few weeks back, we are looking for the best photo of your child and snowman. The winning child's picture will be featured on the front page of Oxford Township's Winter Signature Schedule of Events magazine. To qualify, submit only one photo no later than April 1st, 2016. Now, don't forget to include your name, address, and phone number with the entry. Entries must be in portrait format, not landscape, and emailed to Lauren Smith at oxparkrec.org. Once again, the entries are collected from April 11th to May 27th, and they will be on display at the Oxford Parks and Recreation Office, 22 West Burdick Street. Oxford Township residents then are invited to the office where you can cast your vote for those that you think should be the winner. Again, that email address for entry is Lauren Smith at oxparkrec.org or call 248-628-1720 for additional information. If you feel a need to serve your community as a local official You can get on the August primary ballot for any of the positions available for the upcoming November election. To qualify, first obtain the required petition forms at the following locations. For the August primary, if you win in that August primary, you will be on the ballot for the November election. For Oxford Township, pick up the qualifying forms at the hall on Dunlop Road. You will require 25 residential signatures to be turned in no later than April 19th. Positions are available are Township Supervisor, Treasurer, Clerk, Trustees, of course, and for Oxford Village, Burdick Street requires 20 resident signatures on the petition. And positions that are open would be Village Council seats are up for grabs. For Addison Township, Rochester Road, you require 10 residential signatures on your petition, and those positions available, of course, are Township Supervisor, Treasurer, Clerk, and Trustees. If interested, contact the applicable office for forms. The Oxford Township Parks and Recreation is looking for volunteers to help with this year's Seymour Lake celebration. It's scheduled for July 8th, 9th, and 10th, but there's lots of preliminary work to be done. It takes community's efforts and preparation to make the celebration a success. Quite simply, they need your talents to pull it off. Won't you help this year in assisting the Parks and Recreation? Just call 248-628-1720. To prevent the Zika virus from being carried by certain mosquitoes, Oakland County is taking steps to monitor and combat the virus should it show itself in Oakland County. Starting in June, the Health Department will start mosquito monitoring. They will share information with you, the public, about prevention. Don't be overly concerned, however. It's not for sure that the mosquito will make its way to Michigan. However, County Executive Brooks Patterson wants to make sure that the county is well prepared. The Oxford Public Library has all kinds of activities and events going on each and every month. Events for adults and events for children. And many of the programs, well, they're free. To check it out, go to their website, miopl.org, and click on Calendar of Events. There you will find a list of all of the fun and educational programs for the month. The Oxford Pregnancy Center, located in downtown Oxford, provides compassion and services for women facing unplanned pregnancies living in Oxford, Orion, and the surrounding areas. Remember, regardless of age, race, or income, the services are free and they're confidential. Say, did you know that you can adopt a park? And by so doing, you can help keep your park safe, clean, and beautiful. Your help will support the environment, your community, and quality of life. For more information, visit the Parks and Recreation website at oxparkrec.org. Oxford Orion Fish, a nonprofit organization staffed with 100% volunteers, would like your help. If you are a compassionate person who would like to share a few days of your time or weeks that can help others, the organization would appreciate your help. Of the many tasks available, they could use your skills in answering phones, scheduling clients for food, providing client reviews, filing documents, or providing a number of other useful services. Get that good feeling from helping others. Call 248-628-3933. If you own a local business, or if you're a local resident, or if you represent an organization wishing to show your support for our local Oxford school sports, music, concerts, or any of the many programs broadcast by our TV station, you could become a sponsor or an underwriter of OCTV. A promotional television spot would be created just for you and recognition given to you by our sports announcers during the special event. It's easy and it's inexpensive. For more information, contact our TV station manager, Bill Service, at 248-628-9658, or you could send a message of interest to Bill's email address, manager@occtv.org. Now, we at Oxford Community TV would like our television viewing public to learn more about your club or organization's special upcoming event or charity. So if you would like to get your special event mentioned on our television show, call us at 248-628-9658, or go to our website, once again, occtv.org. Just one final reminder, You can locate our OCTV program schedule by going to our website, occtv.org, and clicking on Schedule. There you will find a list of OCTV programs, dates, and times. One program I highly recommend is Bill Service, who always has interesting local stories and interviews on our Community Access program. Just check it out. This is Oxford Community Television, OCTV. I'm your host, Elgin Nichols. We invite you to join us again for the next segment of your weekly calendar of events.